Mouth noise is not the only kind of noise to be concerned with when it comes to voiceover. And that's what we're going to talk about during this morning's live stream. Hey, I'm Bill DeWeese, pro voiceover talent, voiceover career coach. And you know what? I went in and checked to see, and I noticed that not all of you guys on the live stream this morning, not all of you, some of you, but not all of you are in my voiceover blueprint program. And I want to encourage you to ASAP go to the first link in the description below this video. Just go get the information, check it out, because I know from the questions that I receive that a number of you guys are struggling with really getting things rolling. So really two categories. One is those of you who are really just trying to get off the mark and get things moving. A little confused as to which way to go, what to do, what's most important. And then others of you who've been doing this and you're doing okay, but you're not where you want to be. And that's what the blueprint's all about. So get in the description below. I want to see all you guys in there. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. I want to see all of you guys in the voiceover blueprint. Just go below the description, click the link, get all the information. And hopefully we'll see you in the program here very, very soon. So eliminating non-mouth voiceover noise. Did you realize there's other noises to be concerned with other than mouth noise? You know, it's interesting because I saw a comment, I think it was yesterday on one of my YouTube videos, and that's what got me thinking about this, saying, Bill, I don't believe I've ever seen you wear the same T-shirt twice. You must have quite a closet full of T-shirts. And yeah, I do have quite a closet full of T-shirts. And for those of you who are watching really, really carefully, you'll notice there's some that I tend to favor over others, and you'll see me wear quite often. So I don't have a new one for every day. But I wanted to let you know that there's a method behind the madness. And the reason I wear T-shirts for my YouTube videos or hoodies or sometimes, collared golf shirts is not for a fashion statement. It's for a very practical purpose, and that is to either eliminate or reduce the chances of creating noise from my clothing. And if you don't think that's a real thing, then you may have a problem that you don't even realize yet. A number of years back, this is something that really cemented this into my mind, how important it was. A number of years back, I had a recording session in a studio in downtown Chicago. It's ARU Studios. At that time, they were in the Wrigley Building. And now they're at the corner of Ontario and Michigan, right across the street from Grand Lux Cafe. And the reason I mention that is Grand Lux Cafe is one of my favorite restaurants. It's not only in Chicago. I know there's one in Las Vegas I've been at, a few other towns, but if you ever get a chance to check it out, Grand Lux. So I'm at ARU Studios for a recording session, and so it's me, it's the engineer for the session, who's actually the owner of ARU, Mark, and then we had about 6 people from an ad agency who were there to direct by committee. And actually great people. We had a really nice session, except for the fact that when I went, I decided I wanted to dress up a little more than I typically do, because when I'm in the studio, it's all about comfort and, most importantly, keeping things quiet. But I thought, I'm going to wear a collared shirt, a button-up shirt. I'm not, I want to make sure that I look presentable. So I didn't dress up. I had blue jeans on, but I wanted to have a decent shirt. So I threw it on. I went downtown, did the session, and during the session, I can distinctly hear my shirt moving. It was a material that if my arm brushed up or if I moved in the wrong way, I could hear a swish, swish sound. And I was mortified because I was thinking, oh my gosh, can these guys hear this? Nobody said anything, but the entire session, I'm sweating bullets because I can hear, every time I move, I can hear this shirt move with me. Well, after we had done some recording, we were standing out in the studio listening to the different takes, all of us, the folks from the agency, the engineer and I could distinctly hear those sounds. At that point, I was really mortified. I was embarrassed. I thought, oh my gosh, I'll never work in this city again. And I kept waiting for the engineer to say something, but he didn't. And I'm pretty sure the reason was, I know he was aware. He had to be aware. It was very obvious. I'm sure that he had some techniques. And this is a number of years back. So the software, the plugins that do the noise reduction, even though they were around, they were in their earlier, more infant stages, so not quite as snazzy as what we have today. But I'm sure I cost him a lot of work and grief on the back end of cleaning that up. And since that day, I've been very careful as to what I wear when I record. So that's the first thing to be aware of. Clothing noise, but noise can come from so many different places. Another quick story. Several years back, when I was doing a lot of audiobook work, I was working with a particular producer who was working with a group. She was producing a group of talent for a bunch of different books. Audible was in the process of, they were just putting out as many audiobooks as they could, as fast as they could, and I think they're pretty much still in that mode right now. But I remember getting an email from the producer saying, giving a heads up to the talent, saying, "Hey, we're hearing a lot of extraneous, noises." I won't even get into all the noises they were hearing, but they were hearing a lot of different noises. So, sometimes it can be a squeak of a chair, and I'm just saying this so that you're aware of it. There is no perfect environment. There is no, there's no way to mitigate every possible bad thing from happening. But, yesterday I was sitting in the studio and I could hear my chair make a little squeak, a little noise when I moved. And if you're not tuned into it, you might miss it. There are times when I'm going back to proof something where it sounds like I've clicked the mouse, but I wasn't aware that I clicked the mouse, but I could hear that little sound in there. Yesterday I had this gurgle come up from my throat. I don't even know what that was about, but it was just like a little, I don't know, just a little gurgle. And I thought, well, that's weird. So, something I had to go back and do a pickup of, but be aware, because these noises, and as a demo producer, I work with a lot of clients producing demos. And when you record at home, there's oftentimes I'll get audio and I can tell the person that I'm working with just is not aware of all of the noise that they create. Now, luckily, if you have the right skill set and the right tools, which I do, can take care of all of that. So in the final product, it's not an issue, but it is an issue in your day-to-day work when you're on your own and you're auditioning and you're doing jobs. So whether it's being aware of, those noises that you make when you move your chair, or, like for me, I have a little desk in front of me. Sometimes that can make a noise, gurgles from my throat, or any kind of noise at all, just be tuned into it. Be hyper aware of it. Not to the point of paranoia, but you have to be aware of it, because those kind of things, that can kill your chances of getting jobs or even getting a repeat client when you do get a job, because they want something that they can, and this is a quote I heard from one of my clients recently, drop it into the project. He was saying, one of the reasons I like working with you is because I know when you give me audio, I can just drop it into the project. He doesn't have to do anything to it. And so that's the goal, is to give your clients something they don't have to do anything to. It's done. It's no hassle. And for goodness sake, you don't want them hearing weird noises in your studio. And by the way, just as a side note, do some research, if you haven't yet, on using SpectroView in your DAW, your DAW, your recording software. I know Adobe Audition has it. I think Audacity may have it, a number of others. But learn how to use it, because that has made my life so much easier, because using a spectral view as opposed to a wave view, it allows you to really do surgical removal of noise. And it's amazing what you can do. I didn't even start using it until a couple of years ago. I just thought, I don't need that. And then one day I thought, I'm going to try it. And holy cow, it changed my editing life. It's an unbelievable tool. So learn to get proficient with your editing skills, but most of all, just be aware that non-mouth noise is a thing, and it can cause harm in terms of your relationship with you and your client or prospective client. You don't want that. All right, guys, as always, I encourage you to let me know who you are and where you're watching or listening from. We're going to do a little roll call here. Janet in Florida. Good morning, Janet. Philip in Tokyo. What's up in Tokyo this evening? Rusty in the UP, Letitia from San Antonio, Catherine, Apple Valley, California. Down in Alabama, it's Amanda, Louisville, Kentucky, Bruce, Steve in Bucyrus, Ohio. Sandra, Cape Town, South Africa. How you doing, Sandra? McKenna, good morning from St. Louis, Missouri. Or Missouri, as they say down there, just like here in Ohio. People say Ohio. That's another thing that should drive you crazy when you're in voiceover. When you begin to hear the things that you used to do before you were in voiceover, those little isms and ways of saying things that are kind of local and regional, that's another discussion for another day and another video. Jeremy's in Austin. Hey, Gertie, what's up in Belgium this afternoon? Mark, San Antonio. Michael from Queens. What's going on in Queens? Rebecca. What's up in Michigan? Enjoying a day off from your friendly vet clinic. Rebecca, I hope you enjoy your day off. That's great. Good morning from Ripon, Wisconsin. Russ in Cleveland. Guy. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, Cleveland, this Monday night, it's the Browns and the Bengals. Looking forward to it. Guy back live in St. Louis. Krista, the sweetest place on earth, Sugar Land, Texas. Love it. Oh, let's see here. Oh, here we go. Yes. Michelle in Indianapolis joined the voiceover blueprint yesterday. I need a bell. I need an air horn or something so that when one of you guys, you get yourself in the program, that we have a little bit of a party. And in case you didn't hear me say it up front of the video this morning, is that I'm looking for you guys in that program. Every day I'm looking for you guys. And there's a number of you that are not in the voiceover blueprint, and you need to be there because that's where you're going to get the in-depth, ongoing support, tech, performance, marketing, office operations, everything, where we've got live training going on almost daily, 25 to 28 days a week. We're doing a live session so you can plug in, whether it's performance, so you can read and get feedback, or whether it's tech support with Alex or working on your Fiverr setup with Mallory. We've got stuff going on almost daily that's live, but all of my training's on demand and the private Facebook group and all that stuff. You know the spiel. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you guys in there. Okay, and again, Michelle, good on you. We'll see you in the program. Steve Oshkosh, Galen in Cincinnati, Ohio. And let's see here. Wayne in Seattle. Good early morning to you. Neil in Fairfield, just down the road here. Jolie in Minnesota. How you doing, Jolie? We've got Utah in the house. Good morning. Noisy tummy can be an issue sometimes. Yep, that'll do it too, for sure. Hey, David, how are you? Good morning from Louisville. Work breeds work. Worked on an audiobook auditions yesterday, and now working on 2 paid concert promos this morning. David, that's fantastic. Congrats to you. And work does, it's interesting. I've done sales like in radio back in my early days of radio, and a few other things along the way. And I remember people saying it. It's so true. The time that you're most likely to make a sale is right after you've made a sale, because there's a certain air, a certain confidence that you have, that you feel like, I got this. And people sense that. And it's the same in voiceover. When you start to get work, and you will start to get work if you haven't yet, but when you do, and those of you who have, as David just mentioned, you know what I'm talking about. But you get this confidence, the swagger, okay, yeah, I got this, I can do this. People hear that in your next auditions and the jobs that you do. And work begets work, no doubt about that. Barb in Ann Arbor, Curtis in Clearwater, Florida, Doug, Greensboro, North Carolina, good morning. Oh, let's see here. Hola, amigo to you too, Eric in Richmond, Texas. Thanks for being on the live stream this morning. Appreciate it. Eduardo, hello from Italy. Thanks for your amazing contents. All right. And Eduardo, I don't know the answer to your question right offhand, to be honest with you. Looking for the best VO websites. I think he's talking about like platforms for auditions for Europe. If you have access to voice123.com and voices.com, those are the biggies. And if you can, check those out. Theo on the moving carriage of the Metro train in chilly Chicagoland. Thanks, Theo. Glad you're here this morning. I want to know, my SM800 sounds as good as your voice. Why invest in more? Don't. If you sound good, don't invest in more. That's one of the things I say. You don't need a $5,000 mic or a $1,000 mic to sound great. It's all about the treatment of your space more than anything else. Jay says your tips and tricks using Audition to get rid of pops and clicks and other weird noises from one's mouth are priceless. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Where am I at? Lost my... Sandra, good morning. Kennewick, Washington, good morning. Sandra, Dallas, Fort Worth. David, what's up, in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. He registered late last night for the Blueprint 3.0. Oh, yeah, David. Ring. See, I need the bell. I need the air horn. Welcome to the program. Speaking of the program, here's a student who's been in for, gosh, has it been 2 years yet? Rob, what's going on? He had a chair issue too. He says, those stomach rumbles, ugh. But the Spectral View is always on when I record and edit. Love and loves the Spectral View. I tell you what, there's a lot to love of the Spectral View, Rob. Jolie says, I couldn't record without Spectral View. Can scrub out noises so much. It's crazy because it's like, the way I describe it, it's like editing in 3D. So when you're in wave view, which is the traditional view, it's 2D. If you take something out, you have to take everything out from top to bottom. You're just, you're taking that out. In Spectral View, you can go in, and if there's a little spot in the middle of all that, you can just heal it or erase it or minimize it. Or it's like, for instance, if I get a little bit of sibilance that I don't want, I mean, who wants sibilance? It's usually, I can see it's a hot spot on the Spectral View. It's a bright yellow. And I can just pick, not the entire S sound, but just the bright yellow part, pull it down a few dB. And then, I've surgically removed the sibilance. It's amazing. Christine, what's happening in New Jersey this morning? Rob shouting out to Matt Jolly in Georgia. He knows you're watching, Matt. I love it. Hey, from Belgium, but living in South Africa. Got it. Good to have you here this morning. And JR in Austin. Hey, Friday Eve. Indeed it is. I heard that slurp from your coffee very clearly. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I try not to do that, but I wasn't thinking. But that's an unnecessary noise. You don't want that, right? Rob says, regarding the Blueprint, 2 thumbs up from me. It's made a huge difference in my journey. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate the kind words. Nathaniel from the Philippines. Good morning. Tanya, South Philly on the stream. Bruce, looking forward to Q&A Friday. Yeah, tomorrow's Q&A Friday. I'll be doing it live from Mallory Studio tomorrow morning. I'm babysitting, well, not just me, my wife and I. We're babysitting the grandkids this morning. So we're driving to Illinois tonight, heading towards Mallory's house, her family, and she and her husband got something going on. So we're going to spend the night and babysit the grandkids, and I'll be working from her studio tomorrow morning. So hopefully if I can get everything working properly for me, I'll be on the live stream from her studio in Illinois tomorrow. Richard, good morning, Prof. DeWeese, student from my Olivet Nazarene University days. Hey, Richard, how are you doing? I remember you. It's been a few years, hasn't it? Gosh, I stopped teaching in, 2005. Josh, Taipei, Taiwan. Josh, good to have you on the stream this morning in Taiwan. Richard's in Austin. Susan, New Jersey. Mark from Wilmington, North Carolina. Texas, drinking cinnamon, white hot chocolate. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Jerry says Spectral View is a lifesaver for him. It's to see that unwanted sound and be able to specifically remove those without harming the audio. It's priceless. And I would agree. Jolie says, I know I would not have done over 30 audiobooks without the VoiceOver Blueprint in your family. Oh, thanks, Jolie. So kind. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to say, I know I've said it twice. I'm going to say it again because there's some of you guys, you're trying to push through, you're trying to make progress. And I mean, this YouTube channel, I'm so glad you're here because there's so much great information. But you need an organized, systematic VoiceOver University approach where you've got a clear path and you've got clear ongoing support. And that's what the VoiceOver Blueprint is all about. So just check it out. Check it out. That's all I'm asking and encouraging you to do. The first link below in the description, click the link, get the information, and hopefully we'll see you in the program soon. Hey guys, make it a great day. And again, tomorrow morning, my hope is to see you live as I work from Mallory Studio in Illinois. All right, have a good one.